Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR Army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. And as you can see from the title and thumbnail of today's video, today we are going to be talking about Hunter Biden, and more specifically about how Joe Biden decided recently to give Hunter Biden a full pardon for all crimes that he may or may not have committed between January of 2014, I think it is, all the way through, well, the present day. Just a blanket pardon for 11 years worth of crimes that he either got charged for or didn't get charged for. Yeah, it's that bad. And to prove it, let's go right into it. So I have here on screen a tweet, a post on X by Tim Young, a conservative content creator. He says, Joe Biden has officially pardoned his son, Hunter. So remember, when Democrats say they want stricter gun laws, that means for law-abiding citizens, not criminals like themselves. And so he posted the actual screenshot of the letter. So I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in on this bad boy. The letter says, Statement from President Joe Biden. Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser. People are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the DOJ unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. Executive Grant of Clemency, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., President of the United States of America. To all whom these presets shall come, greeting. Be it known that this day I, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., President of the United States, pursuant to my powers under Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the Constitution, have granted unto Robert Hunter Biden a full and unconditional pardon for those offenses against the United States which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024, including but not limited to all offenses charged or prosecuted, including any that have resulted in convictions by Special Counsel David C. Weiss in docket number 1 blah 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 in the United States District Court for the District of Delaware and docket blah 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 in the United States District Court for the Central District of California. In testimony whereof I have hereunto signed my name and caused the pardon to be recorded with the DOJ. Done at the city of Washington this first day of December in the year of our Lord 2024, and of the independence of the United States, the 249th. So in other words, not only did Joe Biden give his son Hunter Biden a full pardon from the gun and tax-related charges that he was charged with, he gave him a blanket pardon that covers all crimes that Hunter may have committed between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. That's almost 11 years period. And let's see what the reaction to this executive order was by the voices of sanity and reason. Matt Walsh said in response to this pardon, any attempt to justify this pardon as Joe looking out for his son falls apart for 3 reasons. 1, he directly lied to the American people about it. That cannot be morally justified. 2, he gave his son a pass for all federal crimes committed over 11 years. Insulating your adult child from rightful consequences to that extent is, among other things, enormously censored parenting. As parents, our greatest duty is to help our children to develop virtue. Giving them a hall pass for federal crimes obviously does the opposite. 3, most importantly, he's clearly doing this to protect himself first and foremost. Amen, I agree with that, Matt Walsh. Couldn't have said it better myself. Liz Wheeler pointed out, Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma in 2014. By pardoning Hunter for any crimes he may have committed from 2014 through 2024, Joe Biden is protecting his family's criminal cartel. Wow, this pardon ain't about the gun charge. The big guy is protecting himself from Kash Patel. Tim Pool of Timcast said in response to the pardon, Biden calls Hunter's prosecution selective, but it's his effing DOJ. It's not like Trump ran it. The tax and gun charges are fake. The point was to create a pretext to pardon Hunter for all crimes over 11 years. It's for Burisma, China, and more. Then, in response to people who tried to claim that Donald Trump did the same thing in 2020 with his son-in-law's father, this is what Andy Ngo had to say in response to that. Democrats and their liberal media allies keep pointing out that Donald Trump had pardoned his son-in-law's father in 2020 to excuse President Biden's unprecedented move. They are being dishonest. Charles Kushner pleaded guilty to tax evasion and other federal crimes in 2005. He served his 2-year prison sentence and paid the maximum fine the judge could give. His record was cleared through a pardon by Trump 15 years after his conviction and sentencing. President Biden has pardoned his son before sentencing, wiping away a possible $1.3 million tax evasion fine and years in prison. More importantly, the pardon is backdated to 2014 to include all crimes that he may have committed long before the 2016 to 2019 gun and tax evasion felony crimes. 2014 is when Hunter began working for the lucrative Ukrainian interests when his father was tasked with responsibilities for that country as vice president. Now, what a lot of people in the conservative side of the internet have pointed out is that Joe Biden and his administration had previously said that they would not pardon Hunter Biden. And here we have a 58-second video by Tim Young that documents this. He says, here's Karine Jean-Pierre saying over and over again that Joe Biden will absolutely not pardon his son Hunter. She claimed he wouldn't on at least 4 separate occasions. It's the supercut you didn't know you needed.
But from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well,
I just said no. I just answered.
The president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
His son, Hunter, is also up for being sentenced next month. Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I don't have anything else to share about that. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on this. I've been very clear. The president's been very clear when we've been asked this question.
So, as we could see over and over again, the press secretary, I believe she was, for the Joe Biden administration, said that Joe Biden would not pardon his son Hunter for all the crimes he was being charged with. But then, as we are on the verge of Donald Trump and his new administration taking over for a second time as far as having control of the White House, all of a sudden, Joe Biden, on his way out the door, breaks his promise that he would not pardon his son, Hunter Biden. And he doesn't just pardon Hunter Biden for the gun and tax stuff he was being charged with, but he was giving him a blanket pardon on any crimes that he may have committed from January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024. That means all the money laundering that Hunter Biden was doing during that time for his dad in Ukraine can't be charged with it now. And all that horrible, degenerate stuff that Hunter Biden had on his laptop that the legacy media told us in 2020 was Russian disinformation before they came out later on and admitted that all of it was legitimate. Yeah, he can't be charged on that stuff now too because of this pardon. So, yes, unlike Joe Biden's previous claim that no one is above the law, it turns out that the Bidens, specifically Hunter Biden, is above the law. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That's what happens when you have these kind of leftist Democrats in power. They claim no one is above the law, but then they show by their actions and their abuse of authority that they consider themselves to be above the law, which is the only thing that can explain why Hunter Biden was pardoned in this manner after Joe Biden said over and over and over again himself and through his press secretary that he wouldn't do it. So, now that you've seen all of this, you're probably thinking, okay, Justin, I like your content, but I don't want to watch you on YouTube long term because YouTube censorship has been getting worse and worse over the past 10 years. Well, thankfully for you, and thankfully for all of us, there are many YouTube alternatives that exist out there in response to YouTube censorship. But there's two in particular that if you're a fan of my content, that you should follow me on. The first one is, of course, Rumble, which you can see right here on screen. Rumble is a video sharing site that is run by the media company that Donald Trump owns. So in a way, Rumble is Donald Trump's YouTube alternative. Millions upon millions of people use the site. And aside from just backing up all of my videos here, I also do live shows on Rumble via their live streaming. So live episodes of the TTOR show, live episodes of God TV Radio is all done on Rumble. In addition to that, the Rumble terms of service is very free speech oriented. It's not perfect, but the stuff that would get you censored and banned on YouTube, Rumble allows you to talk about freely and openly. So you don't have to worry about getting censored on Rumble like you would on YouTube with certain topics. So if you're a fan of my content and you want to follow me on a video sharing site where I do all my live shows and I don't have to worry and you don't have to worry about being censored for anything, be sure to subscribe to me on Rumble, check out my videos on Rumble, and share them around. The other site you should subscribe to me on is Quarter. Quarter is my very own open source alt tech alternative to YouTube that I started back in 2022. So if you are interested in using a free speech oriented website that I personally run, well then Quarter is what you should subscribe to me on and create an account on. And if you're a content creator, start uploading your content to Quarter. The TOS of Quarter is even more free speech oriented than Rumble is, and we have a lot of features and functionality that not only rival YouTube's, but also surpass YouTube because YouTube doesn't even have them. So if you're interested in that, be sure to join me on Quarter today.